Alrighty. Hello. Of course I can't go a single stream without something going wrong, so hopefully there's sound this time. I did get the links all posted. Hopefully there's sound. Crossing fingers. Oh, good. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. One time we get sound. I tried to do sort of the unmute thing right before the stream that ended up somehow fixing it last time. So that's good. Now I know the tricks of how to get it to work properly, which is great. So there are a bunch of things that have been happening this week, and I figured I kind of chose a few of them that I thought were the most interesting. So I have a few things to go over, but I have to do the chat thing. Okay. So for the chat highlight thing to work, every time I have to pop it out. And hello, Professor Hizzle. Welcome back. And then paste the link and do a thing. So let me grab that. It's something you can't set up once and sort of roll with it. You have to do it every single stream, but it's not that big of a deal. So okay. Now, hi everybody. Okay. Getting organized here. Getting organized. Okay, I don't need this. Now, what should we do? Oh, where's my... I said I was getting organized, and I did not get organized. I feel like a dirty, dirty liar now. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, it's hiding. Okay, that should be better. Okay, so, oh my goodness, I have so many things open. That is not good. Do a quick toggle. All right, so today I have a random weird thing. Is apparently they shut down the El Paso airspace yesterday, and they said they were gonna keep it closed for 10 days or something, and then they reopened it right away. So that was weird. I don't know if maybe we should do that one first, or if we should do that one at all, because it's kind of not really a story. It's re-examination. Welcome back, Scott. It's not really much of a story because nothing really happened except shutting down the airspace is a pretty big deal apparently. And well, you know what, might as well. But we have that. We have so Naz posted in the Discord the Trent Horn video, and I watched that, and I found I think there's a little tiny little clip of it that I thought might be kind of a fun transition at some point. And then the not so fun topic of the whole Epstein stuff that's going on, and the Bondi hearing. I think at first I was like, oh, I'm just gonna cover the Bondi hearing, it'll be fun. And then I looked at it and it was 4 or 5 hours or something. I'm not doing that. We are not doing that. That would be so boring. But I think the beginning of it was kind of interesting. So I don't have a link here for it, which is weird, but it should be easy to find. And then Erika Kirk is super sus and super shady still. My opinion on her has only gone in a more negative direction than it has. Immediately, as soon as everything happened, I was like, okay, she's shady. But every single day, more stuff comes out that is shadier and shadier and shadier. The shadiest. So there's that, and then we have oh, so I don't know if we'll even get to this one either, but there's, I don't know, I'm sure everybody has heard by now, but I don't know why everybody has heard by now. This older lady so like a news anchor's mom got kidnapped supposedly. And was it Nancy or something, Guthrie? So she got kidnapped, and apparently like the FBI is involved, which is like fine, whatever. But also it's all of the news everywhere. Like every single step of the investigation, every single thing they discover, they're like, oh my god, we found a glove. And everybody's obsessed with it. And I don't know why they're pushing it hard, 'cause, I mean, it can't be that rare. Like, it's not like a once in 100 years event that somebody gets kidnapped. Like, unfortunately, this kind of thing happens all the time. Like, I'm pretty sure. Like, is this just me being just is this just me being completely, like, uninformed and, like, not knowing that kidnapping is, like, so ultra rare that this is, like, once in a lifetime event, and we have to cover, like, every single possible angle of this, every single piece of evidence, we have to hang on every word for every update. Like, I get that she's, like, a related to a somewhat famous person, so there's that, but, it's not like she is the famous person. She's kind of like a relative. So I'm not saying it's like no big deal. Of course, it's terrible that some like grandma got kidnapped. That's awful. Who would do that? But at the same time, it's like, does it have to be national news that everybody's like so obsessed with? I find it odd. So that's where I'm with that. Um, do 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 do. It's like the Guthrie story is everywhere. Yeah, I don't understand why. It's it's literally all over the place. I don't understand what is so like enticing about it, because there are far like crazier things that happen in the world than like a grandma gets kidnapped. And sure, there are a lot of things that are kind of odd about it, and like some of the family reactions have been sort of weird, but I mean, if your mom gets kidnapped, it's not like they're not like Erika Kirk level weird. They're like something weird happened to them, like kind of weird. Not like not like shady, like Erika Kirk shady, but like you know what I mean? So I don't even know if I want to add to that pile, but basically, old lady got kidnapped. There's some video that they put out where it's like a dude in a ski mask or something, and he tries to like take some flowers and like cover up the camera with some flowers or something, which I don't really get either. But and then like they found a glove that sort of looks like the gloves he was wearing like a mile and a half from her house, which is like pretty far to go searching, like on the side of the road. Um, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna quit hopping on that. I'm not sure which one to start with, but maybe we could just go down the list, unless anyone has one that they would particularly want to start with. Like my hat. Oh, thank you. I heard Erika Kirk is from Romania or Ukraine or something. No, so she was apparently she went to Romania at some point to help run or somehow involved with an orphanage that was also the same orphanage that was, well, let's just say it had a bad, uh, it has a bad record for children and horrible things that happen to them. So for some reason, it's like everywhere you turn around Erika Kirk, you've somehow come across like horrible things happening to children. I don't know why this particular lady somehow seems like balls deep in child trafficking, but I don't even know what else to say about it. Like uh, everywhere you turn, that pastor, um, and that we talked about last time, because remember we were like, oh, she's doing this like heaven something tour, and then the church that I'm not talking like, okay, today I don't know what's wrong with me. But the church that she was basically like affiliated with, or had the man that was speaking there to, and the church she was speaking at was that guy that was involved with another man that was also molesting kids in Romania. I'm just gonna say it, like that's what they were doing. It's awful. Um, and it is what it is. I don't know. I can't like keep like trotting around it. That's what they did. It's horrible. Fuck it. Like, okay, so I don't even know anybody that I can think of besides like Epstein that has that sort of history where like everywhere they turn, they're somehow like nearby this kind of stuff happening. No like regular person knows this many people and supports this many people that have been doing stuff like that. I don't know. It seems to follow very close around her constantly. So that's weird. And then all of her everything is weird. Maybe we can just, since I'm already harping on it, start with Erika stuff. So, I found this interview thing, and yeah, sorry, I don't know why I can't like talk today. I'm sorry about that. Something's wrong with me. I think I'm like trying to collect a lot of thoughts at the same time and trying to like pick which one I want to start with, and then they're all like, sort of pick me, pick me. They're kind of like arguing for which one's gonna come out of my mouth. And then it's complete freaking mess. That's what was going on in there. I don't know why. Okay, so since we have to pick one, because otherwise this is going to be a complete shit show for the rest of the time, which we don't want, we'll go with the Erika one. Let me pull that up. So there was an interview she did on Fox Nation, and I went ahead and like signed up for the thing so I could watch it. And I didn't get to watch all of it yet because apparently there's like 3 episodes of it, and I haven't had the time. But I sort of clicked around here and there, and I happened upon a few things that I found kind of interesting. So let me pull that up here 1 minute. Oh no, not that. I know what I'm doing. Oh, that is very zoomed in. Oh my goodness. And something else I'm finding a lot is kind of when the Charlie thing happened shortly after, I was always very suspicious of Erika, but I found that a lot of people weren't. Like, she had a lot of support, and something I've noticed more recently, I don't know if it was I think probably around the time when that video call and the phone call that we talked about a couple weeks ago, when that got leaked, I think that's probably around the time when I saw the most people sort of turn around and start being like, okay, this, there's something here. Something is weird. And like, you can basically scroll through anything she posts now. You can scroll through the comments, and most of the ones, at least most of the ones I see, maybe that's because the algorithm picks those for me because that's what I agree with or something. I don't know. But I can scroll through her comments, and you'll see like 90% of them are calling her out for being shady. It's definitely something, but okay. So this is, I have a few notes here of like timestamps and stuff. So I guess we're just starting with the Erika thing and going down the list. These aren't in any particular order. They're just random things that I happened across that are in the Erika category. So, oh, the daughter is a newscaster and had something to do with the first witness account about Epstein. Oh yeah, I heard about that. The Guthrie. I keep wanting to say Guthrie, but I don't think there's an N. I think it's like Guthrie or something. Yeah, there's a lot of like child-related weirdness going on there. It's super creepy. Hello. I don't know what to call you because like MOE is like it's like a Japanese weeaboo thing, so I don't want to say that because that would be rude. But I don't know uh, like Mo, like okay, that is a name. Okay. Because there's also like Mo, like lowercase Mo. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like cute stuff that is so but I'm just realizing that is also like a legitimate name in English, but my like weeaboo Japanese like years are bubbling up when I see that every time because it means cute, like something cute, basically, kind of, sort of. Anyway, you know what? Ignore me. I can't talk. I think it's also highly unlikely that one man could get around and meet this many people, make these many connections without a lot of help. Oh, is this the Epstein thing? Because that is super sketch. Okay, yeah. Now I'm starting to realize that is like a legitimate name that I have probably heard before, but yeah, it doesn't seem, the whole like Japanese thing doesn't seem to fit you, which is why I was confused. But that's on me. Uh, anyway, nice to see you. Okay, so this one, I'm not sure which one is which, but we'll just play and I'll remember what I had to say about it probably, or I'll say something new. I don't know. You know what? We're just gonna do this. So this was filmed like shortly after, the events of the Charlie Kirk situation. And
if there's anything, because a lot of our team members are witnesses, and trials are tricky. You understand this, where you have a jury pool still that needs to be selected, and you have people who the defendants would love to take anything that is put out on the internet by either a witness or someone online and use that in their advantage and to their advantage. We have a case that needs to play out, and that will be...
It's interesting here that she's talking about the case that will need to play out, but this was before. This was like way closer to when the assassination happened. But recently she's come out and been like, oh, well, I think she filed a motion for the court proceedings that are where basically they're prosecuting that kid that I don't think he did it, but whatever. They're gonna prosecute that kid and be like, oh, this is the guy who did it, we're gonna put him in jail or whatever. So that whole situation, apparently she put in a motion to make that happen faster than it normally is supposed to happen, which normally that kind of thing does take years. And here she's talking as if like, oh yeah, this kind of thing, it takes a while, we gotta get through it all properly and blah 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 blah. But then like, why more recently, why would you come out and try to like hurry the process along, even after you've gone out and like, oh, I forgive him, which was totally cringe too. Like it was playing up this whole like being all saintly and stuff because like, oh, I'm just like Jesus, I totally forgive the guy that supposedly murdered my husband. And with the whole like napkin thing, it was so cringe. But anyway, so if you forgive him and if you understand here that it's going to be a process and you have these thoughts about it, why completely flip around on that? I don't understand. It's super sketchy. Everything is sketchy. I don't know if there's any more to this particular one, but let me grab the next one.
Exhausting, because then having to relive everything all over again after being healed, not fully, but semi, from the trauma after a year.
I like how she started being healed, but then realized that wasn't gonna play well, so she kind of had to like backtrack it. And then there was something around here. Oops. Oh, come on. This video player is not very good. At some point, I want to go through like all of these interviews because there was another piece where I found it. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. I found it originally, but I couldn't find it again. I don't know why, but when I tried to look for it a second time, I couldn't find it, but the piece that
generation.
I wanted to find was something like, the question nobody really asked, I don't think, but she started kind of talking and saying like, oh well, I think he would have been cool with it or something if he had a choice to go back. Oh yeah, it was something like, oh yeah, if God, if Charlie went up there after he was, horribly murdered, and God was like, oh well, do you want to hang around here in heaven with me, or do you want to go back down there and keep living your life with your, young children, and, as a young man, and all of this like fame and fortune and everything? Like, do you want to do all that, or do you want to just kind of like hang in heaven, which you would hopefully be doing for eternity anyway after living a full life? And she was like, well, if he had that choice, I think he would have chosen to stay in heaven. Like, what are you talking? I really wish I had found that one, but I was looking for it before the stream. I'm gonna have to find it and play it for y'all next time, because that one was so cringe. I really wish like I knew which timestamp it was at, but I really wish I had found it, but I didn't have a lot of time before the stream today. But that one was the cringiest one, and I was hoping to have it. And then around here somewhere, it was 10:51. No, it's a little bit earlier. Oh my god, this thing is horrible. Okay, at least that works. There we go.
Right.
And she's always like tapping and tapping and tapping, and hardly ever do you see any actual tears. Like once in a while you'll see like a little drop here and there, but for the most part she's like constantly tapping nothing. I don't know, it's cringe.
How does that make you feel?
When everything happened, my phone died and became a black hole. I just didn't turn it on for weeks on end. I've intentionally insulated myself because I need to guard my heart and I need to be there for my kids.
I didn't even catch this one before, but this whole like, oh, I gotta be there for my kids, but she decided to take on the CEO role, which is like a super demanding job, not for some trad wife. That's like a man's job, right? According to all of that Charlie Kirk was constantly saying. So what? Like, she's saying one thing, oh, I gotta be there for the kids, but constantly like jumping in front of every camera and jumping into the CEO position, even though I would be very surprised if Charlie would have wanted that for her and for his kids and family to like be dealing with all of that. I don't know why this keeps messing up. This is really annoying. Okay.
And I did.
10:51.
Grieves differently.
Oh yeah, there it was. Okay.
Because I need to guard my heart and I need to be there for my kids and I need to be there for Turning Point. And what I've realized through all of this is that everyone grieves differently.
Everyone grieves differently. This isn't the only time she'll say that either. The whole like, oh, everybody grieves differently. I think last time we played the call, where the one that was leaked, where she's like on Zoom talking to the Turning Point people, and she's like, oh well, don't be, put off if you see somebody that isn't acting the way you expect them to, or something to that effect, because everybody grieves differently. Here it is again. It's really trying to normalize what clearly, I don't know if like most of the world, but it seems like, according to at least like kind of scoping through social media, most of the people that I've seen at least that comment on this, she certainly has her defenders. She certainly has a lot of those, but it seems like even more recently, most people have this like, as human beings, we have sort of seen grief, sadness, things like that at some point in our lives. A lot of people have lost people close to them. A lot of people have experienced death in general. And to have a person acting like this when their husband died, and so quickly after too, and the speed and the the cheerful sort of like excitedness that she has taken on this role of like, oh my goodness, all these people, they came out here to see me, and um like she seems way more excited about her basically taking on this like big role and everybody looking at her and her being all famous and having all these people like she got like millions of social media followers that have been falling off recently. She's lost like a few 100,000 after that those videos leaked. But yeah, she basically apparently didn't post. Oh, so let's finish this one because I'm gonna be all over the place again.
Everyone is trying to figure out, and I don't blame them.
She's saying them, but it sounds like she's more talking about herself, that like other people shouldn't blame her for acting weird when if so many people are pointing this out. I don't remember the last time that somebody famous um died in any way, like whether it was, you know, the horrible like assassination that happened to Charlie Kirk, or if it was any other way. Like I don't remember the last time somebody famous died and everybody was pointing at the spouse and being like, something is weird here. Because so many people are sensing something weird. And as human beings, we sort of have an expectation of how somebody should act. And we do understand that that there's a range there, that people can do kind of weird things and act sort of weird, and they might have like they might shut down, they might be crying, they might cry, they might not. Like we don't maybe they don't cry, and some people might think it's weird, but other people will be like, well, no, sometimes people are just sort of dealing with it inside, trying to bottle it up, etc. But there is still a range of possibilities there. And she is so very clearly falling outside of that range, because very rarely do you see somebody lose somebody that close to them and act basically like giddy constantly. It's uncanny. Something's off.
How does this happen? How does somebody become so radicalized where they can justify this in their own head? We just lost one of the greatest voices of our generation. Why? How? What's behind?
I think the next one is around 15:30. And again, I do want to go through all of these, and I'm going to have to do something about not using this player because this is ridiculous. Come on. Oh, come on. You know what? We're going to have to 15 seconds our way through it. Oh, that seems to work.
I'm not angry with God. Never have been. Never have I questioned, why, Lord, are you putting me through this? Why are you testing me? Why are you? Because God is so good and he's so sovereign. And I know he uses everything, even what the enemy meant for evil. And I have no regrets. And I think that that's why processing this.
I have no regrets. Okay, and in this same interview at some point, I'm gonna let her finish this.
For me, is probably different than most.
And this is again her pointing out that like, this is why I grieve differently. It's like it's okay. It's because I have no regrets. That's why that's why you people keep saying something's off. It's I just don't have regrets. I lived my best life. Don't regret a single thing. Even though, is it in this one at some point near the end here, where she talks about like his last day and stuff? Okay, this is impossible to use. I'm gonna have to fix that when I go through it next time, because.
And he sees everything, full picture.
Okay, the heaven thing. This wasn't that heaven thing. I think the other one was somewhere in the middle at some point, but I don't know exactly where.
Loved this country. He died doing what he loved. Our rights don't come from a piece of paper, they come from God. It's so simple. Life is so simple. But us humans always find a way to complicate it.
Maybe it was a different one. You know what? I'm not gonna look for it now because that would be kind of ridiculous. But at some point, she also talks about like the last day that she had, and apparently they didn't sleep in the same bed during the last night, and then the whole missing picture thing that we'll get to later. And yeah, so he apparently also went back like into their master bathroom to get his ring before he left. So, and she had this whole, oh, I didn't even get to say goodbye. No regrets whatsoever, even though at a different point in the same interview, you say that, oh, well, he didn't have his ring, he had to go get his ring, which is weird. Why would he have his ring off in the first place? Normally people wear their wedding rings like everywhere all the time. It's, I don't know. Like I understand like in some cases people might like take it off sometimes, but usually it's supposed to stay on all the time. So it's weird that it was off. And she didn't get to say goodbye. And she also has no regrets. Not at all. Not even that one. Not even like maybe you would have wanted to sleep in the same bed with the love of your life the night before you couldn't do it anymore after that. Like nothing at all. That I don't know. If that was me, I would be having big regrets about not having like slept in the same bed and not even having his ring on the night before, and like the picture thing is weird too. We'll get to the picture thing. We already did the trial thing. Oh, it was 3109. I don't know if we got to this one. But you know what? I'm kind of done clicking around because this thing is like not working well. I'm just gonna have to record it at some point and find the clips and like have them ready. You have to be very good at faking emotion. She's not, and it is very telling. Yeah, I agree. And unfortunately, it seems like she thought she could do it because she has all this background, and like it's very clear that she wanted to be some sort of actress for a while because she kept jumping into, like literally jumping in front of every camera her entire life. This didn't just start after the death of Charlie Kirk. She's been doing that before she met him, while she was with him, as far as I can tell now, even though like I vaguely knew of her, but not really, before he died. And now like everybody knows her name, and she's like, it's very clear she's enjoying the attention. Um, and I think she thought that she could like act her way through it and play the whole like grieving widow, but people people sense, like I know a lot of, especially like, oh, in debates, oh, are you having like an emotional thing? But people do sort of intuitively sense emotions, and when somebody is faking emotion, a lot of people catch on to that, and they just can't shake that something is wrong. And that is true for a lot. I don't know if like I could say most, but a lot of people, that comes very naturally when they can tell somebody isn't being genuine. Oh yeah, and at some point there was like freaking cat fluff. Something about being authentic, but I'm done clicking around on this one. It's not cooperating. Or no, authentic is in this one. Okay, let me switch it over to let's do this one. No, not me, but I'm just changing it. 1 second. I don't know why I said that with like a lisp. 1 second. Oh, come on, why isn't it working? I'm sorry, that was uncalled for. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Something's wrong with me. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's switch it back. It's a little bit off still, but whatever, it's not a big deal. Erika's push for pro-Zionism is disturbing, especially even Charlie's shift to his standpoint of the matter before death. Yeah, that's one of that was one of the biggest tells, honestly. Like the text messages that Candace put out after he passed. Like literally, if somebody messages like what his security also, if somebody messages his security people the night before he gets assassinated that he thinks he's gonna be killed, and he still gets killed, and nothing is like, no higher security measures are taken or anything, like that is super shady. And then the whole like him immediately before that also saying like messaging a bunch of people that later lied about it for some reason. I wonder why they lied. That is weird. And the whole like taking it to the next level thing, all of that stuff is so shady. And the fact that like right before he died, that he was very clearly trying to switch directions and go backwards from the whole Israel thing. And as soon as he died, it seems like now they're going like full steam ahead is absolutely super, super shady. Let me... Oh, I lost the chat. He didn't really change his viewpoint. I think he did, because there's those text messages that say like that he doesn't care anymore if they pull out, that he's done with trying to please them, etc. Even going as far to say something along the lines of like all of the what's it called? All of the stereotypes about them are true and things like that. Like that's a big change in viewpoint, I think. Yeah, the asking questions and being critical. And the fact that they try to hide those texts is also a big tell. Agree, absolutely. It blows my mind that the FBI seems to be choosing to ignore the red flags, at least ask questions. Yeah, there's so much weirdness going on between, and also like the connections between Erika and her family to all of this like defense department type stuff and governments and all kinds of like shady military stuff. There's so much here that it's actually baffling that people still think that everything is there is too much shady stuff going on to take the narrative that they're trying to push as fact. That there is too much weird stuff, and the fact that they're not even looking at anything else is very telling as well. There's one clip to second of context, maybe a text message. The text messages are very telling. Maybe we can bring it up at another point. I don't have those handy on me, but maybe we'll do like a whole like summary of all the stuff that has come out since the assassination, like all the stuff that Candace and other people have found, like a summary or something. That might be a good episode to do. Went from ultra Zionist to Zionist. I don't know. He seemed like he was really, really pulling back, but maybe it's a matter of opinion. All right, I'm gonna. Hey, pretty cool. How long have you been in our circles? I'm not sure which circles, but thank you. Although people, since I'm in a center and have opinions from both the left and the right, people tend to at some point get mad and be like, oh darn it, not a perfect right-wing tradwife, not a perfect leftist Antifa person like I thought. Oh no. So that's usually how that goes. Okay, so this one was the authenticity one, I think, which something like that. But all right.
You were talking about this authentic movement. How is it that you go into young people and you convey to them the authenticity of what is happening in this country? What do you say to them?
You can't explain authenticity. You either feel it or you don't.
I don't feel it, Erika. I don't. I really don't. Like, everything about you, every single appearance you do, I feel zero authenticity. I don't feel it. And a lot of other people don't feel it either, so that sucks for you, I guess.
Charlie was
Yeah.
very good about that. He never had to over-explain who he was. He was phenomenal on his daily show. He was just an amazing man. Everyone knew that. Everyone could see it. And thank gosh we have all of his videos that we can see for years to come. But the young students see authenticity and they can immediately sniff it out. They can also see if there's desperation in the room. So thank goodness that our movement has always carried.
I don't know about that. I mean, they still do have as much as I say, like, I see a lot of people online sort of pointing out that, she's clearly lying her pants off here, but she does still have TPUSA, and they do still have, well, besides all the people that they've fired, which is another thing. Oh yeah, I think one of the ones that, oh yeah, no, it's here, it's coming up. But it seems like they still have a lot of people that haven't sniffed out her inauthenticity and her desperation for power. But maybe they will soon, I don't know.
Forth the authentic pillars of what Charlie established this on, and we're going to honor that and continue it forward.
Oh yeah, the video reminds me, did you guys did you hear about the tent thing being at the TPUSA event? And it looked kind of like battered too. I think they came out later saying it was like a reproduction or a replica, sorry, like a replica tent, but with how it looked sort of used, I'm like, my personal conspiracy theory is that they took the actual tent and put it up as a prop for people to take pictures and like selfies with. But that's my personal conspiracy theory because of the way that the tent itself looked. It didn't look like, like a brand new shiny tent or anything. It looked pretty beat up. So that was super cringe. I don't know if you guys remember that too. Yeah, Erica is like, something about, I know a lot of people mention like the eye thing. She does this weird like eye thing where she'll be like talking and talking, and then she'll be like, you know what I mean? She'll be like, I don't know if I can even do it. It's something like that. It's really creepy, and she'll, I don't know if she knows that she does it. It's like she's trying to be extra genuine or something, and it, like, remembering that her eyes have to express emotions, but it's like shorting out because she's not sure like how they were a second before, so she like overcompensates or something. I don't know exactly why that happens, but it's super creepy. It is super creepy. We can all agree that Erica's a reptilian. The eye thing is weird, I'm telling you. Super weird. You checked into the messages between the Erika Kirk and the 15-year-old. Yeah, that one is also. So, yeah, apparently Erika has been. There are tweets online from when Erika was like 25 or so, and she met some random 15-year-old somewhere in Michigan and started carrying on this sort of creepy, like, groomer-ish kind of conversations with her, commenting on her appearance constantly. And recently, like, I think today, I found out that apparently, at least what Candace has broken is that this girl says that, um, between all the commenting on her physical features and all the sexual like innuendo jokes and comments, she also sent her to be photographed by somebody, this like random 15-year-old girl, to be photographed by like some guy that was supposedly creepy at night alone. Yeah, I don't know, so something about this lady and children and being extremely inappropriate with children and knowing people that are extremely inappropriate with children and being involved in organizations that have this like history and allegations of being extremely inappropriate with children. It seems to follow her everywhere. I don't know what it is, but something about her. I don't know anybody else that has that many things that is like not a predator. Like I don't know any normal person that is not a predator that has this many creepy things circling around. And if she was a man, those text messages with that 15-year-old girl, everybody would be raising a complete uproar right now if that was if she as a man was sending those things to that young girl. But because she's a woman, it's fine, I guess. Yeah, I can't say definitely, but I think a lot of people allege that, so that is true. It's true that that is being alleged. Yeah, super creepy. Maybe she has same fate as Epstein customer. Yeah, supposedly people have been making some connections to Epstein type stuff, but it's not direct, and Epstein had a lot of indirect connections to basically everybody, so I don't know if that would really prove anything, but there sure are a lot of coincidental weird things going on. Supposedly her mom worked. Yeah, again, it's not like super direct because a lot of people were involved in some way or worked with the Mr. Epstein. All right. I think there's a bit here about the the Handpick team. So I don't know if everybody knows about the firings, but recently, supposedly TPUSA has been firing a lot of people. So I don't know if you guys remember when we went over that video and she was like, "Oh yeah, you guys are family. We're never gonna let you go because of like financial reasons or whatever." So it's interesting that she qualified that at the time because they are definitely and have been letting people go that have been loyal to the company and working there with Charlie and all of that. So and even here, she's like, well,
I wonder when you talk about, the trial of Tyler Robinson, and you have been very forthright saying, listen, I think we need cameras in court. And the reason you say we need cameras in court is not because you want this to be, some kind of, you want this to be on the record. You want everything to be on the record. You want transparency, and you want.
It's interesting that he's saying all of those things for her. But sure, if you want to talk for her and like talk her up and make it like totally an innocent, like righteous sort of thing rather than just another stage for her to act on, which is kind of what I think it's for. But sure, it's all of those righteous reasons. It's totally not just another camera for her to like tap her eyes in front of and be like, poor me.
Want to make sure there is nobody trying to twist this in any kind of outlying organization trying to twist this into something it's not. Is that a fair assessment of why you want this thing out there and
What a cringe like way to ask a question like, "Oh, is that a fair assessment?" after having literally like in detail laid out the most generous possible interpretation of this thing like, "Oh, is it fair to say that you are such a perfect, wonderful person who can do no wrong ever? Is that a fair thing to say?" What kind of question is that?
transparent?
Absolutely. I want there to be no hesitation in understanding of what happened to my husband that day. I want there to always be full transparency, because what I don't want to have happen is for there not to be, and then I am relying then on social media and other news outlets to explain the narrative rather than saying,
Explain a narrative. Interesting word choice.
hey, this is what happened. This is what here's all of the.
Oh, yeah.
It's just as hard. All of the facts on the table.
And also, when she is like a trained person who is supposed to speak well in front of the camera, not like little old me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a professional. This lady's a professional. So the fact that she can't like lie properly and keep talking is also very telling. And of course, every time she like fudges up for no particularly good reason here, like I don't know what was difficult to say in this case because she's going to a short interview. She has her talking points. She's got all of this like history of acting career, and for some reason she still like can't get her words out. Like I understand why I can't. I don't understand why she can't. And every time she fudges up, she can be like, "Oh well, this is hard. A poor widow. Of course, I'm just struggling emotionally with the loss, even though like seconds before she was totally fine, and then now suddenly like this is what triggers her to not be able to talk." Like it's obviously such a like there's obviously excuse right there, but leading her so she doesn't make a mistake. That's exactly what that sounds like. Like, oh, you're just such a wonderful person. Is that true? Is that true that you're just so wonderful? Just I put a just in there. I had to.
For you guys to see, and
Yep.
you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
And that's also interesting. No confusion as to who did it and why, because you gotta show them the narrative. You gotta show them with all the cameras and make sure they really get the narrative right, so nobody questions anything about who did it and why. Can't have people questioning who did it or why. Can't have that. We gotta get them the right narrative.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to end on that. I want to talk about something uplifting, that the alternative halftime show for the Super Bowl, Erika. Kid Rock.
I wasn't ever gonna bring it up because I'm sure everybody has already talked about that to no end, but yeah, haven't even seen either show. I know that there was the Bad Bunny, which is so funny to say. It's like an adult saying, like talking seriously about somebody called Bad Bunny is kind of funny. But I know that there was the Bad Bunny thing, and a bunch of conservatives got big mad because Spanish or whatever, and they decided that they were gonna do a TPUSA thing for it. And okay, everybody turn off your TVs at halftime and switch over to our special halftime show with Kid Rock and all of these other people that nobody did, and then they lied about their numbers, and yeah, that was also super cringe. But I haven't seen either show, and I'm probably gonna that's probably it's gonna stay that way. I don't care. Like I'm sorry, I'm not a sports ball person, so I think it's all crazy that people are so wound up about it. And it's even crazier that they had to lie about their numbers like that. They were like coming out saying, "Oh, well, we had like 6 million concurrent live viewers on YouTube," even though like a screenshot immediately after said they had like 6,000 views so far, and then it like jumped up with a ridiculous. The metrics looked completely off and unnatural. And then they said, we had like 20 million total across all platforms approximately. And like no way. There's just no way that's true, because I mean come on, that's impossible. And the metrics look completely off. Like, why lie about that? I don't understand.
You're talking about
And it must not have been cheap to buy the YouTube metrics either, so
this.
they probably spent way more money trying to make it seem like their show was popular than they made in any particular fashion on like ads or whatever. I don't know how they were planning on making money on it, probably ads or something. But I imagine they spent a ton of money on it, probably for no return. I didn't even know they had 2 shows until yesterday. Oh, yeah, many people didn't know it was even going on, so for them to claim they got 20 million concurrent viewers is completely crazy. Seems the point of halftime show is to get Americans to fight about nothing. That's a good take too. Yeah. I know people have something also in the other interviews that I can't seem to click around properly on. I'll have to film the clips properly separately and go through them another time, but there was another bit in there where like she kind of in kind of a passing comment says like something about, oh, well, people criticizing her for smiling too much or whatever, but sort of in passing, not really making it a big thing, but like she brings it up in some way like that. And I wonder why people are criticizing you for that, because you're literally like beaming. You're so excited to have all of this power and attention, and it's so obvious. I, and constantly like patting her eyes and stuff when like 90% of the time they're completely dry. It's creepy.
Thought I was kind of reading this and I thought, this is brilliant. After watching the Grammys and after watching, there is an appetite for this. I mean, it's a brilliant move. I'm just wondering.
And now she's like, oh wait, I shouldn't smile too much. I gotta like, you see that? That is so creepy. I didn't even notice this the first time I saw it, but like she goes from like completely beaming to like suddenly like dropping it immediately and being like, oh crap, too much. And she starts like you can see her one eye is like twitching a little bit, like this one is like a little smaller, like twitching, and the other one is like just like I can't even do it. She's like, oh, anyway, I can't do it. I tried. It's something like that. It's so creepy. Something is weird. I don't know what her like to call her facial expressions, but everything is, yeah. It's uncanny.
What you hope comes out. What's the message you're trying to convey?
It's powerful because what Charlie always loved and knew is that he wanted to be in the forefront of the culture war. He would be fist pumping to this. He'd be so stoked. And what better way to honor him than just to get in the middle of this and be able to offer an alternative to families? That's the thing that's so beautiful about Turning Point USA and all of our programs. It's holistic. It's for the entire home. It's for every age. And so for us to be able to provide an alternative that's pro-America, that's just pro everything, that's not the opposite of what they're putting out there. I don't want to go into details and bash that because there's apparently an audience that wants that, but there's a larger audience that wants ours. And so we are going to make it very amazing. I'm so excited. Our team has worked so hard. The artists that have teamed up with us, I just want to say thank you to them. It's very brave of them to do this. And they.
Oh yeah, didn't I heard some criticism online about Kid Rock having some lyrics about like underage stuff. I heard that there was a thing going on about that. He probably wants to know why. Yeah, I don't know. He would probably prefer to be alive. I don't know how like beaming he is, how like happy he is about being dead. She's making it sound like a cult, kind of. Yeah, one for every Kid Rock for every age. It does sort of seem like it. It's formulate to fix everything before interview. I don't know.
They partnered with us without hesitation.
She seems like she should be like if she really wants to be this like famous in front of all cameras person and control all of this like money and organizations and all of that. I kind of expected more from her, I guess, because this is how I talk. I expect her to be better than that.
And it's actually been a huge blessing, and it's going to be an.
Except for the uncanny, like, weird facial expressions, and I don't have a dead husband that I'm acting sketchy about, but the whole, like, awkwardness falling over your words thing, like, that's kind of my thing.
Unbelievable halftime show. We have it being broadcasted all over, but it's one of those things where at Turning Point USA, we're doing more than just being in one little orbit in space within the country. I mean, we're making a huge impact. We always have, always will, and that will be our mission to continue moving forward and honoring Charlie until my last breath.
It's kind of interesting because I know you literally are working around the clock. I know you're up late at night and you're up early in the morning. Is it the content?
Yeah, if you're literally working around the clock, where are the kids at? Where are your kids at? Wouldn't Charlie want his kids to have their mom? Now they have no parents. Maybe that was the case before too, I don't know. But it's kind of obvious now that she's clearly, like, at least some of the time that she could be spending with them is being spent elsewhere. And as like he said, it takes a lot to run organizations like that. Like a CEO role, that's especially one with like taking all the interviews and doing like all of this like CEO social media stuff and all of the lying she's constantly doing. Like you gotta spend time coming up with and practicing and doing all the lying. So somebody has to be looking after the kids while she's doing all this lying.
Contact you have with young people, is it lifting you, Erika? What's the message you have for them and for what they are offering you?
No, it's really special. I mean, Charlie has handpicked a phenomenal team. So
Yeah, if Charlie handpicked a phenomenal team, why are you firing all of them? Seriously, like, this was only 7 days ago. This wasn't like a way before she started firing people. This is like she has already fired a bunch of people that he handpicked. So to have the freaking balls to come on here and say stuff like that after literally firing all those people that he handpicked, like, but again, if somebody who has so much of her life of evidence of her dating and drinking online then comes and like turns around and tries to say, "Oh, well, I wasn't dating and drinking. That's like totally gross and stuff." If somebody if somebody has the balls to try and lie like that with all of the evidence existing online already, then I'm not really surprised that she can turn around and lie like this after having fired all those people and come out like a week or two later and say stuff like this.
this is more passion related for me. It's not a 9 to 5. I raise my babies. They're
Yeah,
my
sure.
priority, but also Turning Point USA has amazing staff, and we are so focused on making sure that they have a place to go to. And
Yeah, all the amazing staff that you just fired, we want to make sure they have a place to go to. This is so bad.
what's also so amazing is that we are being able to see how these generations are creating leaders. And that's what Charlie wanted, is for leaders in the community, for these kids to be able to fight to have their chapters on campuses, for them to just be good people. And that's what we need. And so, yes, being around these students.
Yeah, we need some good people. I don't think we need Erika. I think we need good people. Alrighty. You talk about how people should join your cult. Thanks. All right. Oh yeah. So okay, the photo thing. So, why isn't it clicking? What am I doing wrong? So somebody online found the photo thing. So there is a wedding photo that was in Charlie's home office that was of their wedding, obviously. That was behind him, sort of up and to his right, but our left. And then basically the last time he was seen from his home office, the photo was there. And the next time that we see the home office is Erika going in and being like, "I haven't been here in so long," and like, "Oh my god, wow, a desk. Wow, there's like stuff on the desk. Wow, look at this paper." Doing all that stuff. And you know what, I don't know why I'm talking about it. So this is Candace, I
Only
think,
matters.
yesterday. So, and she was like, "Oh, there's paper stuff," and somebody has noticed that the wedding photo is no longer there. And well, here's Candace talking about it.
So Charlie's last live appearance before he was assassinated.
I already said that. I know. I don't know why I did that.
Go ahead and sleep in her room.
Week But he was so
Oh
excited
no.
specifically for this event that he couldn't sleep, and also
176. I lost where it was.
Things like that is that he
Yeah, see, it was like right there, and here she is. Like, it's obvious that she like teased her hair to be slightly messier so she can look disheveled, but she still put on all of the makeup. Like, what is that about? That is so cringe. If you're gonna, you do a full face of makeup, but you like fizz out your hair a little bit to look messier and sort of like you're not even taking care of yourself and you're like so deep in grief you can't brush your hair, but you can do a full face of makeup. That's totally fine. Jeez. She's just from, oh yeah. Okay, you have the blue eyes, the colors you adorn yourself is not indicative of the extreme far right or Christian burn in hell. Yes, you're a female weighing in on politics. What's going on? I should probably just call that out of JD's, but oh, gross. It is weird that, like, who hugs another man like that? That is, like, the whole, like, hair touching thing. It's weird. Even if she hugs other people like that, it's still weird. That, like, you don't just hug strange men in, like, such an intimate way. I don't know. I thought that was weird too, but obviously I have no evidence of anything going on, but she does seem very intent on JD Vance's like career promotion and having him around being supportive and oh well I know Usha Vance personally and she told me this and she told me that and she's like she name drops them a lot, so it is a bit odd. Sometimes you feel naked without your makeup. But why do the hair? Like, I don't know. If you bother to do the makeup, you could at least brush your hair. It takes like 2 seconds. But it's obviously there is an image here that she's trying to convey. But anyway, long story short, the picture thing, it was up here. I don't know if can you see my mouse? Yeah. Picture is up here, or it was the wedding photo was right up there, and it's not anymore. It's gone. So Candace has a theory about it, and I think it makes sense.
would sit here on Sundays writing, using his journal, like going through all these drawers, and he was preparing for the week ahead.
Yeah, he was preparing for the week ahead, and yeah, terrible. The sound isn't
I've
me,
been
it's
there in
her.
a long time. So the internet was correct to spot that oddity. If this really is your first time in his office, the first time looking down at his desk, who moved the frame behind his head? No person in their right mind would go into the home of a grieving widow and move a photo of her and her husband from their wedding day without explicit permission. So what actually happened there? We have a couple of options. Let's go through them. Option A, which I just want to say is my favorite option always. Andrew Colvett went rogue. Andrew Colvett went rogue. He was over there. And next thing you knew, he was fumbling and bumbling in the office. And he was like, and this wedding picture is coming with me for no reason. I might even tweet about it. He just can't help himself, Andrew Colvett. He's out of control. Just raging through Charlie's belongings. That's one of the options. Then there's an option B, which was the internet's immediate reaction. They said, Erika removed it. Why would she remove it? Erika's evil. Why would she
I have seen that too.
do this thing? But I would like to push back on that notion. I do not accept that option at all. I definitively do not believe that is what happened, because that would be the exact opposite of the very intentional PR messaging that has come out of Turning Point USA since Charlie died.
No, I agree. If she went as far as to like make sure her hair was messy enough on purpose, very obviously, she wouldn't like remove a photo that was meant to show like more of that was clearly like an extra piece of like pulling on your emotional heartstrings or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Died at every waking moment. Even when Charlie was lying in his casket, they were ever intentional. They wanted the public to recognize that Erika was Charlie's husband. Erika's husband was gone. It's Erika and Charlie. Erika.
Erika showed his husband. I understand what she's saying, but anyway, long story short, it does make the most sense that Charlie took the photo down himself because they had an argument or something. And Candace has a lot more thoughts and reasons for that. I'll let you guys watch that on your own time if you want. I can drop a link in the Discord later or something. But she does have good reasons for it, and I think I agree. Like, the wedding ring thing is also weird. Like, why would he not have that on? And the fact that they didn't sleep in the same bed and the photo thing being missing is also a big tell. However, when I heard this yesterday, I could still, even though I think Erika is very obviously super creepy and sketchy, you could still kind of posit an innocent theory of maybe she saw the photo and she like took it down so she could like have it with her, so she could like hold it and cry and grieve and whatever. So maybe that's something that could logically happen. Like, you want a photo and for some reason you don't have one anywhere else, which would be kind of weird. You would think they would have other photos around, but then there's the fact that she said she wasn't in there before. So maybe she lied about not being in there before. I don't know. There are other options here. However, apparently today they came out and they tried to explain this. And I think them trying to explain it, it's very obvious that, like, Candace's theory makes way more sense now. Or like holds more weight after their explanation. It's even more likely that this was a situation where they probably had a fight and he took the picture down himself.
Regarding Photogate, Turning Point issued a statement about how the wedding photo, which was curiously there when Charlie was hosting his last show and then was suddenly removed when Erika was speaking to Glenn Beck in December, they obviously they're always panicked and then they issue a dumb statement. That's kind of their move. They never take a deep breath and think about whether what they're going to say makes any sense. And the issue was Erika was like, this is my first time. And she's on Glenn Beck. The exact sentence I think she says is, I haven't been here in forever. Sorry if I keep looking down. This is a note that he wrote. Okay, how long is forever? It sounds like it's been a long time since you've been in this particular office and you obviously have not even seen this desk. Anyway, to account for the now missing photo, they went to Newsweek. I think the editor at large is Josh Hammer. They just can't help themselves.
Oh yeah, I'm really bad with names, so I know that there is some lore about like Josh Hammer and them being like in on some text messages or something. I don't remember the details, so I can't speak on this, but the name sounds like it's important, but I'm bad with names, so forgive me. I'll have to do like a summary video on it and I'll research it then. I apologize. Sorry. Surely you're not suggesting that a fake person might sometimes act fake? Oh no. How could I suggest that? That would be crazy of me. So he was working on the Sabbath? Was it a Saturday then? That's interesting. Wait, they have an argument, then he gets off. Yeah, it's very likely they had an argument, and it's super sketchy. Normally people look at the spouse first, and there's plenty of sketchy stuff here, but they seem to be ignoring all of it. I've never even heard of Erika before he got, what happened to him. I think I vaguely remember hearing about her because somebody had pointed out that she was Miss Arizona for like a pageant. So that's why I've heard of her, because somebody was pointing out like, this is like a pageant girl. Why is she playing trad wife? That's weird. But nobody had really dug beyond that at that point until after the assassination happened and she started acting all giddy about it. Glenn Beck is still around? I thought he No, I think he's still around. I haven't seen him anywhere, but apparently he's around.
They just want to look guilty.
I don't think he was even that old. Like, his hair is very white, but I don't think he was like 80 or anything. I think for some reason I thought he was like 60 or something.
In everything that they do. This is what they told. Newsweek. A post has gone viral online that appeared to show Erika Kirk having moved or removed a photograph of her and Charlie Kirk at their wedding. Well, a Turning Point USA spokesperson told Newsweek Erika moved it to a lower shelf when her daughter asked to see it so that she could hold and look at the photo. It's still on the studio shelf. It's just lower down where her daughter can look at it whenever she's in there with her mom.
What?
Aww. There's just always so much obvious emotional manipulation. I don't know how you guys feel.
I agree.
But I feel like they should have went with the Andrew Colvett went rogue excuse. I think it's stronger.
Yeah, they would have. That would have made a little more sense.
Like that. It's my favorite one. I said, go with Andrew Colvett went rogue. I love him being rogue. It's more believable. It certainly is more believable that Andrew Colvett went rogue. Because I'm feeling now like I got to start like justice for Gigi. They keep dragging this poor toddler into every possible alibi regarding Erika Kirk. And I'm just not going to stand for this much longer. Okay, we're out here treating Gigi like Puerto Rican moms treat their daughters. Okay, Latinos, you know what I'm talking about. Their sons can do no wrong. Mi rey. The daughters, they do a lot of wrong. That's how I'm feeling like Gigi's getting some treatment here, but I'm not cool with. She's always in the alibi. Remember, Gigi kicked Charlie out of the bed the night before because she was doing gymnastics. Gigi wanted to move that photo to eye level, so they had to move it. Gigi wanted to go for a walk, so Erika couldn't have been at some fort in Huachuca because she was with Gigi.
They do seem to be using that kid as an excuse quite a bit.
Leave Gigi alone. Obviously, that did not happen because it makes no sense to bring a photo to ground level in a studio that is not occupied by the toddler. This is her first time seeing the photo. If she wanted the photo, if she was like, I want to hug the photo, you would just give it to her. You would allow her to take it. This is your home studio. You would say, yeah, take it out of the office because it's no longer serving us. It's not in the background. Take it out of the office and put it in your room. You can have it. It's not serving anyone. It's supposed to be design. Why would, that's my granddad behind me. That's a photo of my granddad.
Yeah, that I thought that immediately when I saw that quote. I was like, so she could look at it like this, like no touching, no touching the photo of daddy. You can look at it all the way down here, no touching. What?
Why would, if Lulu, who is 3, came in here and was like, I want that photo, why would I be like, okay, puts it on the floor where my daughter should not be because it's a studio and this is not a playroom? Stop. Please just stop. I want Turning Point USA.
It's weird. I can understand why on the surface that they might have thought that was a good idea because like, oh yeah, blame the kid. Nobody can get mad at the poor, orphan child. But it really doesn't make sense. It really doesn't.
To, for once in their lives, do the right thing and pay me a monthly retainer to consult them on PR. Just say no. Nope. No. Nope.
They probably should at this point. I don't think she would take it, but if they were smart, they would. All right. And now this piece also I thought was kind of interesting.
When somebody else believes they did see her at Fort Huachuca. Speaking of September 8th, by the way, it's also an important date to flag. I think it's a little weird, but it's a fact that Erika chose that date in particular to break her years-long Twitter silence. Did you know this? Erika had not...
I did not know that. This is my first time hearing about it. And in fact, I was recently wondering about her subscriber stuff and I looked it up, or I tried to, and what I told you earlier about she didn't have she had a lot, but it wasn't millions. And then Charlie Kirk got assassinated and she suddenly had millions and millions of people feeling bad for her and subscribing and following her on all the social medias, especially I think on Instagram where she's probably the most active. I think she had 8 something million or 9. And then it was dropping off after that video leaked of her talking about the merch sales and being all giddy and whatever days after his death. But it is weird that if you don't use your social media at all or hardly at all for years, and right before your husband gets KO'd, you start and continue from then on. Had it happen like right after, it would be weird enough. But the fact that it started happening right before is even weirder, I think.
Authored a tweet since 2023, right? She had retweeted a couple of things. Who knows if somebody did it for her, but she herself had not authored a tweet. Suddenly, 48 hours before Charlie's death on September 8th at 10:49 a.m. Arizona time, she decides to break that silence with this tweet, scripture. Ephesians 2:8, for by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing. It is the gift of God, not a result of work, so that no one may boast, okay? And suddenly she then was on a roll. She then tweeted again on September 9th, 9:44 a.m. local time. She tweeted, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that takes refuge in him. And then again, on the day that Charlie is assassinated at 9:45 a.m. Arizona time, which is an hour and a half, okay, an hour and a half before he's killed, Erika tweets, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. People ran like, wow, I can't believe this. This godly woman happened to have tweeted this.
Weird. And also the whole God thing, again, I have no issue with people who are religious, but it is very clear to me that she is hiding behind it. Like the way she's so performative about every time she talks about anything religious or even not, she has this whole like mega church pastor thing going on where she'll like do this like she'll like close her eyes and she'll look up like this and be like, oh, this and this and this and that, and God is this and God is that, and oh my goodness, like she'll have this like tone and everything that it's so performative. I think if somebody genuinely believes it, it doesn't usually look like that. It's I find that it tends to be more of like a personal thing. They don't try to be performative like that. They're not like doing all of this and all of this, and like it's a lot more subtle. But she seems to be very like, oh, if I'm just an innocent Christian widow lady. I couldn't possibly do anything wrong. I'm like so religious, and there's no way I could possibly be, guilty of anything whatsoever. I'm completely innocent little snowflake. It's weird. Glenn is around Rush. Oh yeah, Rush. Okay. So somebody did pass, but it wasn't Glenn. Why would Candace want to take on or a nightmare? Take on a nightmare? I should have probably caught that sooner. I forgot what I was talking about at that point. Waiting for Candace to claim Erika. No, I don't think that was gonna happen. It could be the tweets or reaction to the fight that made Charlie remove a wedding photo from his office. Could be. I mean, if he actually removed the photo, that seems like more than just a minor disagreement. Yeah, I mean, and the whole like wedding thing, like the wedding ring not being on him, he had to go and get it so it wouldn't like look weird if he didn't have it on. Megachurch vibes are cringe for sure, so I don't believe she's part of some conspiracy. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I don't have any evidence to say like, oh, she was involved somehow in his death or whatever, but she's certainly taken advantage of it, and she doesn't seem all that upset. So whether she was or wasn't involved in it happening, she's certainly very involved in getting every single drop of whatever good things she can collect from it, whatever like money that comes after it, whatever things that in whichever direction the organization goes, regardless of what Charlie actually wanted, she's gonna take it for herself and push it into a different direction with all the people that he didn't want to deal with anymore. And it's obvious she's like rolling around in the cash. PR, no, okay. PR, PR, not that was the what I was missing. I gotta learn to read.
This right before her husband got assassinated. Like I said, you're a monster for noticing. If you're thinking that like, no, she just really did suddenly want to break her Twitter silence, and she's very, as we can see, she is committed to the Lord. Every sentence that comes out.
And I kind of see like maybe if they were having the fights and she really honestly turned to God for whatever, she didn't have to suddenly start posting it either. She could just read those passages if they were related to her struggles. She didn't have to suddenly start posting online. It's the suddenly starting to use social media that is sketchy, and then clearly having gained a ton of followers immediately after and continuing thereon. So that's the weird part. Not the passages alone aren't really that weird, because people, like, sure, it could be the fight, it could be she stepped on a piece of poop or something. It could be anything that could be like a struggle in a person's life. Like, bad things do happen to people sometimes, but the fact that she started posting that stuff on social media is weird, in my opinion. The timing is weird. All right. And then I was looking through. I was like, oh, I wonder, when the Twitter was mentioned, I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on with the Twitter thing. Let me see if that looks okay on the screen. Okay. And I was like, oh, what's she posting about? And then I just sort of clicked on a random recent post that she did, and it's something about they're gonna give money or match some money thing for supporting families or whatever. And I was like, okay, let me see what the comments are like. And the first one is, cut the bullshit. Your kids are grieving the loss of their father alone while you go on a national media tour and incessantly lie about your whole life, raking in hundreds of millions of dollars off the back of your dead husband as you struggle to contain your excitement. I obviously heard of that one because that describes it very well. And this one too. Like, the comments are, they are right on the money, I would say. You better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that will keep us free, said Charlie Kirk. And then Erika, stop asking questions. Just stop. And it's got like her face from that interview too. We don't buy your bullshit. Why are you announcing this on X and not just sending a company email? LOL, you guys are so obvious with the damage control. Charlie is playing volleyball with Jesus. Now let's move on and get some effing merch moved. The comments section should tell you everything you need to know. We know what you're doing. We don't like it. We don't trust you either. Lots of likes on all of these, by the way. Like, lots of people agreeing. It says something is just so off about you. Stop the political fundraising. Go home and heal with your kids. When are you gonna stay home and support your own damn children? Are you serious right now? Do you even know how bad the sound coming from you right now? You have no self-awareness whatsoever. Release the Epstein files. Israel-related stuff. The thing where the leaked tapes of her talking 11 days after that we already covered in a previous thing. Charlie also said he thought women should be home with their young. Yeah, exactly. I think so many people are on the exact same page here that this one is brutal. Ouch. This one right here. Sorry, I should have scrolled. I can see like more of the window down than this one is brutal. This like AI image they generated here. That is brutal. And then yeah, more money, etc., etc. One person, so proud to work here. Period. One person out of all of these so far. And then Andrew Colvey, of course, going and Colvette, I want to say Colvette, but it's Colvette, going with the praying hands, and then followed by you seem to embody the spirit of the whore of Babylon. Nobody wants your blood money. Fang-grieving widow gift costume. Oh my god. These are brutal. So there are hardly there are what, like three comments that were positive, and two of them from people that work there for a fact. The third one probably too. So yeah, I mean, this is not going well for her. It's not. I think people, even a lot of people that were like strongly on her side, I think once some of those people saw and heard the tapes that got leaked, hopefully a lot of them opened their eyes, because I see a lot more people being like, hey, wait a minute. And yeah, obviously she still has her supporters, but it's only a matter of time before everybody's kind of on the same page. All right. Let me find out next thing. Go here for a minute. You're the kind of person, she seems to be the public display of woe is me seems on brand. So tweeting scriptures because of a fight makes sense. Tapes? What tapes? There are, I don't know if you just, we went over this a few streams back. So, Candace leaked, somebody that worked at TPUSA leaked some, recordings of Erika talking shortly after Charlie's death. So there is a sound recording that's 11 days after, and then there's a video recording that's like 5 days after, I think. And in both of them, she's like very excited, very giddy about all of the money they're making and all of the merch that they're selling. And I guess I can play this one because this one is already here, real quick, since we already have it up, because somebody posted it.
Hi, everybody. I still love all these emoji Zoom things.
Emojis.
Wow.
My husband is
I
dead.
don't even know where to begin. The fact that we
Emojis.
were able to pull off an event of a century, like, it's just insane. We had over
To be that giddy.
275,000 people that attended, and the stadium overflow, Westgate, insane, you guys. And then you have, was it 100 million? You guys that heard the gospel and all about Charlie and all about everything that you guys do, and the hard work of Turning Point USA is insane. We had thousands that were registered to vote. I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that, because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But
like crazy,
I just wanted to
guys.
say a huge, huge, huge thank.
It goes on. We went over it before, but yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. She's just giddy and excited about all the money they're making, all the merch they're selling, all the people that came and like watched her give her speech and whatever. And yeah, she's super excited about what's going on. It's very clear. You come. I'm sure she's been prescribed something by the doctors to turn that frown upside down. I don't know about that. Adriana. I don't know about that. It seems like she's just happy to be in the position she's in. She's clearly tried her hardest to jump in front of every camera her entire life, and here she is jumping in front of all the cameras, and it's working. It's finally working. She finally has all of the attention in the world, and she has all of this money, and she is the boss. Always wanted to be the boss, and now she has everything she ever wanted. So I don't know why she would even be sad. It makes sense. Allegedly. All right, let me move on to the next item. Should we do Epstein? No, I don't know. That's kind of heavy. Maybe we'll do that one after. Oh, this one is kind of quick. Let's do this one. Oops. Oops. Yeah. All right.
Space over El Paso.
This was the El Paso like drone airspace thing I was talking about in the beginning.
Texas was temporarily shut down early this morning. The FAA, citing unspecified security concerns, initially said all flights would be halted for 10 days.
But just a short time later, the FAA reversed course and reopened the airspace, saying only that the closure was done out of an abundance of caution. The explanations offered by the Trump administration have led to many questions and tough criticism about how it was handled. William Brangham has more on this chaotic, confusing turn of events.
That's right, Amna. After the FAA announced the reopening, an official with the Trump administration blamed the issue on Mexican drug cartels, alleging
I've seen people post comments about that, but also something I've been noticing is like anytime Trump sort of like throws something out, a lot of people that still support him are very quick to pick it up and take it as fact and run with it. So I'm not really surprised about that. But I'm not saying it's impossible, but you would think like it's near the border and the cartels have been there a while now. They've been doing drones probably a while if they do them. So why now specifically to close the whole airspace to it doesn't make a ton of sense. You would think if there was some sort of drone thing, they would just watch the actual border or like on the other side of the border. I don't know. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me personally. Again, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it doesn't really sound true, especially with how the whole Minnesota thing has not been going well for Trump and ICE. They're pulling out of there. The recent thing just came out about that lady that ICE shot 5 times that survived. It looks like video came out where it proves her story, and they basically not retracted everything they said, but they were trying to like prosecute her for being a terrorist or whatever, and they asked the judge to drop their own case after the video and text messages came out where it shows the ICE agents themselves turning the wheel into her car and then shooting at her and like getting ready, and it's all very clear that they weren't in danger and the shoot was a bad shoot after that video came out and text messages and everything. It's looking really bad for them, and the whole Minnesota thing is not going well for them either since they're pulling out of there. So it's not going well for ICE and for the whole like immigration narrative, which is unfortunate because if they had just done it right, then I think it would be a good thing. Like we obviously can't have everybody coming into the country. We can't, because at some point, if we accept everybody, then everybody in the world would be in one country. We can't have that. That's unreasonable. But at the same time, they weren't going after the, super bad, scary criminals first, like they were saying. They were going after, well, for one, U.S. citizens a lot, and 2, people that were just kind of easy to grab. Anyway, I've harped on that previously, so I'm not going to harp on that again, but it's unfortunate that they keep fumbling this because now it's going to reverse and the pendulum is going to shift the other way, and we don't want it shifted in the completely opposite direction. I would just prefer like a happy middle ground where we get rid of all the bad, scary people that aren't supposed to be here and maybe take the people who have lived here for 20 years and run the shop down the street last. Like maybe we put them last on the list, and in the process, let's not kill any U.S. citizens. Let's just not do that. I think that would be optimal. And I think that would have been possible to do if people weren't so like hard-headed about it, because being able to sort of accept where you're wrong and pull back a little bit would have been better than being stubborn about it and now having to pull back a lot. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And they sort of walked into it on their own, so they're kind of reaping what they're sowing now. But where I was going with all that is I think it's because it's not going so well for ICE, for Trump to throw out this whole, oh, it's the cartel sending drones as an excuse for this like closure of the airspace. I think it's just awfully convenient that like now at a time when the ICE thing isn't so popular and the immigration thing is taking a hit, now he's got a new excuse of like, oh no, we gotta ramp up whatever. So it's just awfully convenient timing wise. That's why I don't really buy it. But let's kind of move along. Oops, I broke
They'd
it.
sent drones near the airport that had to be dealt with. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy stood by that assertion later today. But multiple news organizations reported that the closure was in fact triggered by the Pentagon trying out a new anti-drone defense system without giving aviation officials enough time to assess its danger to commercial flights. On the ground in El Paso, though, the city's mayor, Renard Johnson, decried the confusion and lack of communication.
I want to be very, very clear that this should have never happened. You cannot restrict airspace over a major city without coordinating with the city, the airport, the hospitals, the community leadership. That failure to...
Yeah, it was very sudden. Apparently, they didn't even allow medical evacuations. Nothing, like absolutely nothing, and very sudden, and it's a major city and a very large area, and they said that they would basically shoot down people who violated it if they deemed them a threat, things like that. And I also heard, so I'm not going to play this whole thing because this is kind of a side story, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because I still want to get to the main ones that I promised to talk about. But here, there was something about directed high energy. A Pentagon plan to use a high energy counter drone laser without having to coordinate it with FAA. Yeah, so it sounds like there was some potential testing or plans to use anti-drone laser weapons, and there was also something about energy. Where is it down here? Apparently, last summer, the Army conducted a live fire exercise using directed energy weapons alongside more traditional air defense systems at Oklahoma. And then there was another related high energy stuff. So it's interesting that things that kind of sound sci-fi are happening now, but that it's just kind of interesting, I suppose. But yeah, weird thing happened. People are confused. Sort of unprecedented to close such a large airspace without notice. Some kind of military stuff possibly involved. Maybe something with drones. Directed energy weapons, and yeah, weirdness going on is all we know. I don't know if we will ever find out what really happened, but if we do, it might be in the coming weeks. Americans voted to deport them all, the worst being first. I often people it doesn't help the U.S. citizens cause, yeah. First he invaded Venezuela, now he's invading Somalia. He can't keep getting away with this. Energy weapons, excuse me. Aliens. The aliens are coming. You know what? If it was aliens, because El Paso is kind of like, aren't there? I don't know. I have been to El Paso. It is sort of like a deserty area, and areas that are kind of like deserty are sort of associated with aliens too. So yeah, you know what? It could be aliens. Completely serious. You never know. You never know. I mean, the whole secretive and sudden aspect of it, you never know. Laser weapons used against aliens in Star Trek, Star Wars. It could be. You never know. I mean, why else would you need laser directed energy weapons. Like where are the drones gonna come from? They'd have to fly like across an ocean generally, unless they're coming from the south, where like we have other ways of intercepting things across both borders, and then we're surrounded by oceans, so we're generally like relatively safe from things like that. All right, let's get to oh, this is a fun little bit. We're gonna just do this little bit. Well, 2 little bits.
That's the problem, right? It's like, have you debated?
So this came out, what, 12 days ago? And there are some things here that are more to do with like, oh, there's force doctrine related stuff and there's other bad arguments and things like that. But I happened to pause on this a little bit and I was like, why don't I just share it since I'm here? The reports of sound weapons being used in Venezuela by the soldiers there. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wait, you know what? I heard about them talking about using some sort of unusual weapons that they like didn't stand a chance or something. They started getting sick. Reports like that. I totally forgot about that. But I didn't realize it was like a sonic thing. That's interesting. Yeah, we definitely live in the new age as far as technology and things like that, so I wouldn't count anything out. Guys are crazy. All right, this is just a fun little piece here.
No, they're setting it up apparently. Oh, good. I don't know how anybody could ever believe any of the shit he believes. It's going to take me 5 minutes.
It's going a little fast. I think I accidentally clicked off of it. Let me make sure it restarts at the right time.
Also say Christianity is irrational, but then at the same time, you make the claim, well, that's preventing me from doing all the shit you're considering irrational, though.
Listen, I'm right with you.
And then he goes, wait a second, that's true. The problem, that's the problem, right? It's like...
Have you debated him yet?
No, they're setting it up, apparently.
Oh, good.
I don't know how anybody could ever believe any of the shit he believes. It's going to take me 5 minutes. It's just going to clean his clock.
Sam's formidable, though. He's
Sam Harris. They're talking about Sam Harris. Which, ever since Sam Harris came out with that whole, like, oh who's Biden's kid? What was Biden's kid's name? The guy on crack. Anyway, ever since he came out and said, oh, he could have a bunch of dead bodies in his basement and I still wouldn't go against him or speak out against him or something to that effect. I forgot the exact quote, but it was something like that. Like, oh, even if they had dead bodies in the basement, it would still be better than Trump or something like that. He just has such major TDS that I think he should have stayed in his lane as far as content and kept up with the whole neurology and things of the mind, meditation, things like that. If he had just stayed in that lane and not gone into politics, I think he would have been fine. But as soon as he got into politics, he went crazy or something. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was, but Sam Harris went crazy. Sometimes they use acoustic weapons on the protesters. Okay. I don't know if I would say that's dope, but okay. DJT slipped up once and said we have things that we don't even know how to use or something like that. Oh, deaf aliens, absolutely. I mean, Erika Kirk is a reptilian. All right.
Formidable. I've watched him debate with Jordan Peterson. I'm like, come on, dude, are you serious? The reason you don't put your hand on the stove is because you don't put your hand on the stove. Because you don't. That's why you don't do it. It's like, oh, whatever, dude. But anyway, the whole rationality argument is retarded on its face. First of all, what does that mean? What does rationality mean?
Well, rationality...
It means some shit that I made up.
It might be something...
That's kind of been his answer for everything lately. Like, sure, a lot of concepts aren't... You can't, like, physically touch them, whatever. But any kind of concept that is not, like, a physical thing, he's like, oh, that's just some shit we made up. And the just works to dismiss it. Like it's not good enough to have concepts. Like, we're human beings. We have concepts. That's how, well, some scientists believe that's how the Homo sapiens were different from, for instance, the Neanderthals, is because we had concepts like that, and it made it so we could cooperate better, and they couldn't. And because we could cooperate better due to concepts like that, like shared, um, what did he call it?
Oh, what does that mean? What does rationality mean?
Well, rationality
It
would
means
probably
some
mean-
shit that I made up.
Some shit that we made up, because we have things that are some shit that we made up that we convince others to agree on, and that helps us to cooperate. Because of that, it is thought that we got as far as we did, as far as culture, technology, and, well, everything else.
It might be something you can measure, right? So rationality would be this.
How?
I think they would argue this way. You would say there is something you can measure mathematically, meaning we have more stuff for us, or there's more.
Speaking of Brian Callen, there was some. I don't know if does he still do comedy. I remember watching some of his stand-up specials like years ago, and I thought they were really funny.
more to eat. There's more.
But how he seems to like agree / like everything Andrew Wilson says the past like several interviews they've done. So I don't know if he's just doing that, like he does that with everybody to sort of keep them talking, or if he really does agree, in which case that's pretty sad. But at least he's giving some pushback.
Shelter. This is
On
kind
this
of how
point.
they talk, right?
More for me to eat.
And it's not even really pushback, because it's like, oh, well, they would argue. Not like, well, I'm arguing. It's still kind of wishy-washy.
More
I'm
shelter,
right with you.
more oil.
I'm right
more,
with you.
Ooh, it almost sounds like I should deploy my massively advanced army, kill all you fucking idiots who I don't like anyway,
Yeah.
take all your shit, take it back here, and sit on the bed with my concubines. What's the problem?
Keep going.
Yeah.
Let's expose all the
Interesting.
profoundly retarded or people who are handicapped, because they're a drag on resources.
Bullet
And
to the head.
And we
Just-
can give that money.
Yeah.
Give that money to the, and then while we're at it, people who've come from broken homes are.
I understand this is supposed to be like a bit of like, oh, well, if we didn't have morals, we would be doing all this stuff. And because we're religious, we have morals, but nobody else does.
Probably going to end up in. You can
I
just
understand that's supposed to be the bit, but he seems awfully excited about it.
keep going, right?
Yeah.
And that's
And other people aren't doing those things generally. Like most people don't do those things. Not because like God is stopping them or whatever. It's because people don't survive like that.
my thing, and that's my.
So they
argument.
bank on our benevolence.
Yes.
And that was something else that was in that Trent Horn video that Naz linked in Discord. Thank you, Naz, by the way. I watched that one. I haven't seen this one fully, but I've watched that one, and this has a connection to that other one where Trent is basically saying, like, yeah, that's as Christians, we are supposed to be better. So, like, basically stooping down to the level of those people without morals. Like, we are supposed to have this sort of like handicap, but it means we're better than them. So to act, so like just because other people who aren't Christians, who are like don't even have morals or whatever, which I disagree with, but okay, let's say they don't have any morals, it means that even though it's harder to fight them because they can do all this crazy immoral stuff fighting us, we still have to hold back and not be as crazy all out as those moralless people. Something like that. Is that a articulation? Neanderthals were kind of cute. Oh. Callan is a great character. He's saying it's like a metaphysical claim, which he's okay with as long as you can ground it in something that is logically consistent. This guy, I'm over him. Yeah, it's... Yeah, I understand that a lot of Christians seem to think that if you don't believe in God, then you can't possibly have morals or something, which I don't understand. It's very obvious that there's plenty of atheists out there that seem to have a perfectly good moral system. Because most people are logically consistent. I'd love to hear how. a lot of the critiques Andrew Levy's could apply to his view. I don't know why more people don't point that out. Yeah, so for this one, we'll go a little bit longer because I don't want this to be like an Andrew stream or anything. I do want to move on to the Epstein stuff, but there were a few like small little clips I found that were kind of fun. Oops.
That's interesting. And what is the benevolence they're banking? They're banking on the irrational Christians who believe in the sky fairy to continue to.
It's interesting that as somebody who is supposedly religious, to talk like that. Like, I understand this is supposed to be like, oh, well, they're saying that, but this comes off as like, I don't know. It seems awfully. If I was a Christian, I wouldn't be like, oh, well, we believe in like sky fairies and whatever, so say these other people in such like a callous way. I don't know. I would be more. I would be offended by stuff like that, I think, a little bit. So as far as like, I at least wouldn't promote that as like a matter of fact sort of thing. Like, I don't know. Listen, if you listen to this,
They're banking on the irrational Christians who believe in the sky fairy to continue to believe in their disappearing sky fairy doesn't really exist. The magic man of the sky, who we appeal to for our rationality, and then that's what prevents us from doing all.
Yeah, to go on and on like that, to call it all of these things that supposedly atheists do, and sure, some atheists do, like, are really that rude, sure, but he doesn't really have to say it like that. And sure, this is when people come out and be like, oh, you're tone policing, oh, no emotions, but tone is important. I think tone definitely plays a role in the way that we communicate things. There's a reason people pay attention to tone. It's part of the message, and to dismiss it like, oh, tone policing, I think that's super dorky. And what is it that Candace likes to say? Fake and gay. I don't know, I find it kind of funny that she says that. I also disagree with Candace on quite a bit, but as far as like Erika and Charlie Kirk's situation goes, I think she's got something there. Oh my goodness. We believe you have morals. We just believe the reason morals exist is because God provides a personal standard that atheism cannot. Well, it's interesting because Andrew comes out and says that no, other people can't have morals because if they don't have God, they can't have morals. He does say that. I don't know if he says that to like just mess with people, supposedly. Like every time he says something controversial that he wants to back out of, he'll be like, oh no, it's internal critique, it's internal critique. I do have a video I'm working on for that too, related to like essay stuff, so it's a little sketchy. I don't want to bring a bunch of it here because I want to keep that kind of self-contained. Oh yeah, Our Examination Show has a YouTube channel, by the way, y'all, just so you know. If anyone else is not familiar, check him out. He knows a lot more about Christianity in general than I do. Way more, like expert level. I don't know all that much. It's not you don't believe in God, so you don't have morals. I mean, that's what he said, so maybe that's not like all Christians claim, which I didn't say, but I have heard him say that. I think in this one particular one as well. I feel like he's putting up a front for people from attacking his theological takes. Could be. Or just the whole reduces down. Yeah, I've heard him say all that before. We'll cover that at another time for sure. He doesn't say they can't have morals. Okay. He's being provocative and not precise. Also, many atheists claim objective morality. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I understand that he's not literally. This isn't him saying, oh, well, the magical sky fairy or whatever. But to go on and on about it like that is like, if I took God seriously, I wouldn't be acting like that.
All of the things they consider irrational, even though they can't make a case for how it's actually irrational. For instance, if it was legal for me to just, I don't know, kill Sam Harris, why shouldn't I just reach over, bash his fucking head in with a hammer, take all of his shit, and walk out the room?
Well,
why not?
The irrational argument for that would be probably something like, when you have a society like that, you end up with Somalia, which isn't a country, Afghanistan, or these countries that end up producing nothing. There's no innovation.
So?
You get Russia, for
So
example.
why do I care,
No, I'm
though?
just saying. I'm saying that would probably be.
Yeah, but you see how irrational that.
People without religion still care. So yeah, again, I don't want to harp on this too much. I just thought that was kind of a fun little string of acting like atheists are bashing God when he comes out and like really makes fun of he puts on this character, but in the process he does make fun of Christianity. Even like I understand it's supposed to be a bit, like I get that, but the fact is it still makes fun of Christianity. Like that still happened. Regardless of whether he was playing a bit or not, those things were still said in that way, and I thought it was kind of rude. Whatever. And then this little bit here, I forgot what this was, but let's play it.
People like this, these are people who they themselves may not necessarily levy the criticism directly, but it's the influence that they have over the various audiences that they have that then go and direct these criticisms towards you.
Got it.
Though I never actually see these people in.
Oh yeah, what is this thing with both him and Pearl? They for some reason hate this Lila Rose character, who is some like trad conservative of some kind, I think. I don't know what their issue with her is, but let's go back just a little bit.
Have that then go and direct these criticisms towards you.
Got it.
Though I never actually see these people in the arena debating these social issues with anybody. They'll do abortion debates, things like this, but I never see them surrounded with a panel of like the worst degenerates on earth debate.
Okay, first of all, I have seen those other people do debates in general, but why does he take it as like, so he's describing basically him doing the whatever podcast here, where he's on a panel surrounded by the worst degenerates on earth. And let me finish.
Debating all of their worldviews simultaneously.
Debating all of their worldviews simultaneously. He's acting like doing the whatever podcast with all of those girls that go on there is such like the apex of intelligent, is influential debate and discussion, and they have this variety of worldviews that are all like against his, and he's like fighting all of them off in this like super cool, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you, super cool style. And he's like surrounded by them. Like the way he puts this is completely different from the vibe that the whatever podcast has. Like, if you didn't know what he was talking about here, you would think that this is like a super serious thing that happens. Not like a bunch of chicks and like two dudes hanging around a table talking about their dating lives and gossiping. Like, you would think this is like a serious, like, we're going to figure out society's ills and present a solution to Congress here. Like, you would think it's something like that, the way he talks about it. Not literally like a bunch of gossip. Oh my goodness. I just happened to notice this particular phrase when Naz sent the video that Trent did. There's also bits here about scripture and how I think this was pretty interesting too.
Says that overseers in the church must be gentle and not quarrelsome or violent, and that all Christians must put away anger, wrath, malice, slander, and foul talk from their mouth.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of scripture that really does not fit with his behavior. So when he comes out and talks about how he's so much better than all these atheists that don't have morals, it seems like he's not really living up to being a proper Christian anyway, at least according to some of the scripture. So I found that was kind of interesting as well. But Expert is very complimentary. I appreciate that. No, definitely way more than me. So if bashing your head and then taking all of your stuff aligned with God's nature or his commandments, why shouldn't I do that? Probably because she's a sewing circle Christian or something. Oh yeah, I don't the whole, oh, sewing circle Christians. I don't even. He has a disdain for that. I've been hearing that phrase a lot lately. I don't know what exactly that's supposed to mean. Like they don't cuss or something, or they're nice people. Like, oh no. I don't really get the disdain, but all right. Thank you. Lila was on Surrounded. Oh, okay. Maybe that's why he's upset, because of the whole not being a Jubilee All-Star. So, it's like fighting the lowest common denominator. Doesn't even take himself seriously. He's a mess. Wants to be a serious. A lot of the women have degrees. He's antagonistic to Catholics. He thinks they're way too nice when they should be acidic. He thinks it's cringe. He thinks they need more variety. Oh, okay. He's talking about feminists. Oh, you mean like back there when he was talking about like the whatever podcast, very obviously being surrounded by their degeneracy? Yeah. From what I gather, he thinks Christianity has been taken over by women, and the ideology is reflecting that, I'm pretty sure. I think I've heard similar things to that effect, sort of, yeah. Except for Orthodoxy, apparently. It's being encroached upon, but it's still standing for the most part, or something like that. Semi-circumcision is either they don't fight today's evils enough, or it's just an empty label for people who are too nice and upsets him. Yeah, we'll probably never know for sure. All right, that's pretty much that. Just two little fun clips that I happened to be watching around the time when I was taking the notes here. So let's real quick cover not the whole thing, but this random older lady. I was kind of harping on it in the beginning of the stream,
now,
but
I want to get
yeah. So this is like
right into our time.
the guy that they have on camera. They recovered the video or something from the camera that apparently she didn't have a subscription for, which I find is ridiculous. Like, if you have a camera, you shouldn't have to pay for a subscription for it to work. Like, you bought the thing, it should work. If you shouldn't need a subscription unless you're like paying for cloud storage or something. You should be able to like direct it to your own storage or put like an SD card in or whatever. But it is what it is. Anyway, so they recovered this video of this guy in this mask, and he like goes and pulls up some flowers or plants or something and like shoves it into the camera. I don't understand what he's trying to do here, because like, what's that gonna do? So that's pretty weird. But this is that missing lady that I was kind of harping on in the beginning, and I'm confused as to why people care so much. Like, I understand she's adjacent to somebody famous, and I did hear about supposedly her daughter was interviewing Epstein victims, but why would they get like her mom? Why not get her? Like, why not kidnap the lady doing the interviews? I don't know. I don't really get it, but it is odd that there's a connection, and the whole kidnapping itself is very odd. But long story short, old lady gets kidnapped. The whole country is obsessed with the case. This video that came out, they apparently tried to. Oh yeah, and also some people online are saying that this person looks sort of feminine, and like they maybe could have fake mustache and beard on, but I don't know. It could just be the way it's kind of dark like this.
Top stories as we continue to follow the latest developments on the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. The Pima County Sheriff's Office in Arizona now saying that they have received 18,000 tips in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, with 4,000 of those.
Yeah, this person just sort of fumbles around kind of awkwardly, and like they notice the camera, but then they don't really cover it all the way the whole time. And then they go and like
over the 24-hour
pick up
period
some
after
plants
the
over
release
here
of this
to the right.
video right there on your screen. Now, that video
What are you
showing
gonna
a
do with
person
that?
who investigators say is tampering with a camera at Guthrie's.
Shove it in the camera? I don't understand. I don't understand this. I don't understand what this is supposed to do. What the plants are for or anything. No, the sewing circle Christians are feminist. Okay. So like why doesn't he just say feminist Christians? Because sewing circle implies they're like little old ladies being nice or something. I don't understand why the sewing circle is specifically feminist. I'm not saying like I don't believe you. I'm just confused as to why that would be. But you could be right, absolutely. I honestly don't know. I really don't. Today's evangelical church is like John McCain. Wilson is like Trump. I kind of see that. An overcorrection for past weakness. Emmett once called you a sewing circle Christian? That's crazy. That makes no sense. Emmett and I should know, but I think sewing circle Christian is more broad than feminist. Maybe it depends on who uses it. You are very nice. Oh yeah, he did debate Andrew. I thought you were still like respectful, or you weren't like Andrew is very obviously like an asshole. It's what people like him for, and he is very open about like playing it up because he knows people like it when he's an asshole. It's like a big act. So, but also apparently he also is apparently to people who have said so. Anyway, that's a thing that he is proud of. So it's not like, oh, he's an asshole. Did you know? By the way, like it's very obvious, and he's also proud of it. So it is what it is. So compared to him, I think if anybody has just like a basic level, just like a basic level of respect, they might come off as nice, even though they're just being they're being basically respectful, like human to human. And because he doesn't really do that, it comes off as like opposites, even though it's not really. I hated birds aren't even your. I still love your I love your username. I hated Andrew at one point, but then I watched some of his long shows outside of the clickbait videos. He's abrasive to a lot of people, but you just gotta look past the entertainment stuff he does. I've seen a lot of his content and I disagree, but I respect if people have different opinions. That's totally fine. I still disagree though. Or don't look past it because it's hilarious. News orgs know that women love true crime, so they're trying to capture the audience 24/7. Yeah, and with the whole Epstein thing going on now, I don't know if this is a distraction or what, but to go all out like this for like, okay, she got kidnapped, that's terrible, but there has to like there are other things going on, like the Epstein stuff and the Bondi hearing and all of these things going on that are way bigger than this grandma getting kidnapped. So it does seem very distraction-y. It means both ideas. They're overly nice to the point of letting their standards go, which is caused by many churches being taken over by feminists. I have heard him complain about that. The first one I did, Not Back Down. Cannot wait until the fourth and final of our debates come out. Oh, there's more? I thought they had already released all of them. Because it seems like it took like months at a time between, or at least like a month between each little portion of it. I didn't realize there was going to be more. I thought you would think they would be all out, but that's crazy. Yeah, I'd like to see it. Like true crime, I'm a boy. A lot of people do like true crime, but it does seem to be a very like heavily geared, like as far as who watches it. I think the stats are very heavily on the female side as far as the audience for true crime. Not that men don't watch it, it's only that women watch it a lot more. I guarantee that. I would put money on that. All right. Oh, I will not take the bait. So, yeah. Grandma gets kidnapped. I have this video. Everybody goes crazy about it. And then there is a glove that they find. Exclusive. Mysterious black glove found near Nancy Guthrie's home could hold crucial clue, says former FBI agent. Yeah, so there's like a glove like on the side of the road like this. I don't know why I keep saying like, I'm so sorry. It's been a thing. But they're for one, they're searching miles away from the house, which is a lot. Apparently that's not really standard procedure. And it's kind of laying out in the open like that. I don't know. It looks weird to me. But some people say a glove found, and then some news people say there's a pair of gloves found. So I still don't know if it's one glove or both gloves. But yeah, there's a glove, and people are going crazy over the glove. Don't ask me why. I don't know. And then people keep going back and forth and trying to collect evidence at the house of the old lady, at the house of their daughter, where she was last seen at a dinner or something. And they're in front of the house, and then there's the glove, and there's the video. So yeah, not a ton. They're sort of like looping all of the same stuff except the glove. Like the glove is new today, but I don't like. Okay, glove, whatever. And then they apparently identified the backpack, like the kind of backpack. So yeah, that's sort of the gist of it. I figured since it's all over the news, it would be basically a crime to not talk about it or something. But okay, let's do the last thing because it's getting late and I still have to. I was hoping to film because I have to refilm the Force Doctrine thing and do the filming parts for 2 other videos I've been working on, and I was hoping to also do that tonight, but I don't know if I'll have time. I'm actually pretty tired. But I did promise we would talk about Epstein. So there is, I suppose we'll start with the little fun bit. Where is my, oh yeah, here it is. Does that look okay? Yeah. Epstein jail guards used fake body to trick media waiting outside the prison while his real corpse was loaded into van unnoticed, Fowles claim. So apparently the guards used a decoy body. So this is in the files that they released. So they have screenshots here. So from the Epstein files, you can see a few of the names are still redacted, but basically it says that these people made, well, let's just read because it puts it pretty neatly here somewhere. So according to an internal memo, a jail supervisor told FBI agents that staff at the jail or prison or whatever that he was held in staged the ruse to take his real corpse somewhere secretly in a separate vehicle in the back while they made up a decoy sort of body-shaped thing in a bag where they used where does it say over here somewhere? The files alleged that boxes and sheets were arranged to resemble a human body and loaded into a white van marked as belonging to the chief medical examiner, prompting reporters to follow it as it drove away. Who cares if people follow a body if it's going to the chief medical examiner? Like, if we know where it's supposed to go and the actual body goes there, it's not like the body is going to be upset that it's being followed, or there's going to be like some kind of privacy issue with them knowing where the body is when they know where it's supposed to go. So if they took the real body somewhere else, why? Like, I keep saying, like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I don't understand why this would be done. Who cares if the reporters follow a dead body to where it's supposed to go? Because if they take it, the real dead body, if there is one, where it's supposed to go anyway, they would still know where it's supposed to go. I don't understand why it matters if they follow one car or another car and which one the body is really in. I don't understand why, because this explanation makes no sense to me. But that's sort of the gist of it, is that there was this body switch. And also there's a thing about there's a handwritten note that was found, but it's not a self-offing note. Yeah, something about a note, but apparently it's more about grievances about the conditions, like food, showers, and presence of bugs. So yeah, this is weird. I think it's weird. I don't understand why somebody would do that. I kind of get, like, I keep saying it, I'm so sorry. I sort of get if, say, there's a celebrity and they need to exit some kind of place, and there's a bunch of reporters out front and they're gonna catch them, and you wanna get into a different vehicle while you sneak out back so that you're not really followed, and they send some random people to act like it's you, and like so that the reporters follow the wrong car, and then they find out it's not really that celebrity, and they stop following the random people, and then they don't know where the celebrity went. Like, I understand, I keep doing it. I understand if it's that sort of situation, but this is a body where people know it's supposed to go to this examiner place. So why have a fake car going to the place where it's supposed to go and another car going to the same place? Unless they took the real one somewhere else, or there wasn't even a real one. I know some people have said that maybe he's not really dead and things like that. I personally don't think so. I think he probably is dead, because keeping him alive would probably be too dangerous at this point for all of these famous people that for all the people that are rich and powerful and, possibly famous, not all of them may be famous, but for all the people that are rich and powerful that he has stuff on them, I understand. I think it would make more sense if they had him disposed of rather than continue to have this liability hanging around somewhere on the planet. So I think it makes more sense that he isn't with us anymore. But this is still weird. So obviously I'm not 100% on this, because anything could be the case. He could be hanging out somewhere in Israel doing whatever weird, creepy stuff to whatever innocent victim. That could be the case. I don't know for sure. So at this point, because of how they have been lying and covering up this whole case, I'm open to anything, honestly. But I still don't think it's the case. But at the same time, I'm not completely closed off to the idea, if that makes sense. All right, let me get the other thing, last thing. Oh, and let me switch real quick while I pull that up. Oh, let me scroll up. Your name is Moe. I had 4 debates with entry from August the 1st: divorce and remarriage, Christian nationalism definition, forced doctrine, and can Christians have ethnostates? Okay, it sounds like this last one is still not out. That's interesting. Yeah, because it seems like there's clips being released, but I don't know why they didn't put the whole thing out at the same time. Are you gonna upload them? The 4 sound interesting. Yeah, I think the Modern Day Debate channel has them, and they probably didn't give out copies. I don't think they would give out copies of it. I think they would want to have. They probably want to have. How do I put this? They want to be the ones to upload stuff first, I imagine, if they're the ones that organized and filmed it. So I doubt he has a copy. Oh, you guys know each other. Hello. Welcome back. Oh, Naz, by the way, I mentioned you earlier when we were talking about the Trent Horn thing. We didn't do too much on it. There was one little piece of it that I played as a clip, but thanks for sending that to me, by the way. You should make him mod. His vibes are immaculate. The old decoy body trick. I might do something about mods in the YouTube thing as well. It hasn't really been necessary so far, but if it becomes necessary, I have some people in mind. But yeah, maybe. I mean, he's been pretty good. And sent me a bunch of info too. So again, thanks. Oh, okay. So yeah, Reexamination does have like reaction videos for the first 3, but yeah, they have to show the last one before he can post that. But yeah, check out Reexamination channel if you want to see those. I will be upset if my dead body is followed by reporters. Well, you know what? If at that point you are really dead, then that's too bad. You know what? Too bad. If you want to have me up to discuss morals or forced doctrine, I'm going to have a good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, maybe at some point. I have had requests for doing like panel style things, so yeah, maybe. I'm still open to it, and since I have had more people requesting, I might organize something like that soon. I'm not sure which day we should do, but yeah, if anybody who is interested in doing panels wants to pick the favorite day, drop it in the Discord at some point, and we'll try to pick a day that works for everyone. Lots of conspiracy theories could spawn from this. Yes, good night. Thanks for hanging out. One last thing that is on the Epstein. Let me pull up this video. Oh, why is it like this? Is it really 7:03? That makes no sense. Okay, we'll start from the beginning. We're not gonna watch this whole thing. Let me switch it over. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, but this is from a show called Liberty Lockdown by Clint Russell. He is great. I think I agree with like maybe 90% of his opinions and what he says. So if you're ever interested in like kind of what I think about stuff, that's kind of what I think about stuff. It usually lines up pretty well. Like I would say like 90% is probably a good number. Can we have a good team reacting to stuff? If you do a panel, hopefully you can get a couple on each side so it isn't a dog pile. Yeah, that'd be great, but I don't know if it doesn't. I'm sort of okay being kind of the only person that has to defend something if it's like 2 or 3 other people. I think that's fine as long as it's not. As long as I have a break sometimes, so I'm not constantly having to like be interrogated from 3 directions at once. And if it's like a respectful discussion, I think it's fine. But yeah, if it's more of like a blood sports style, I would definitely not want to be the only person on one side because it gets exhausting. And I don't have the practice for that. I'm not built for that. It's not my thing. But I definitely see what you mean there. And it might be hard being. It might be difficult to 100% of the time find somebody that is like multiple on both sides or like exactly matched by number on both sides. That might be difficult. So I think it might be okay in the beginning if there's not like too many people. I don't know. I think we can figure out how to manage it. And if it becomes a problem, we'll figure out what to do at that point. But yeah, it would be nice if there were people that took both sides of an issue, but I understand that a lot of people tend to, well, I don't know, I think I have a pretty mixed audience. I don't think it might be as big of a problem as I'm expecting. You know, I don't subscribe to forced doctrine. Oh yeah, there's that. So at least on that topic, it seems like I might have somebody on my side. But there are a lot of topics out there that are besides that one where I think, well, I don't know. Again, I have a pretty mixed audience. I keep going back and forth in my mind, and this is probably not making a lot of sense. Let's kind of get to this. Again, not going to watch the whole thing, maybe the first like 5 minutes or so, because I think it's pretty well put and sort of summarizes well what's been going on.
FBI concluded Jeffrey Epstein wasn't running.
And I don't think we'll get to the Bondi thing because, one, I really don't want to listen to her again. The first time I've heard her speak was sometime like today or yesterday when she was in that hearing, and I saw clips from it. And honestly, I was so annoyed that I'm fine skipping it. But long story short, people called the Congress or whatever called the hearing, and they're all interrogating her and pointing out how her department has been messing up, and she's not taking any of the blame. She's refusing to apologize to the victims for ignoring them, basically. And yeah, long story short, she's being a see you next Tuesday kind of lady and being a dick, basically, and not answering any questions, dragging things out, and yeah, basically being extremely annoying. So I'm okay with skipping that today, but that's what happened like the day after this video. So that's the only thing that we're not really summing up here.
Running a sex trafficking ring for powerful men file show.
Okay, that is fast. Let me fix that.
FBI concluded Jeffrey Epstein wasn't running a sex trafficking ring for powerful men file show.
So there you go.
Oh, there you go.
The AP is the AP reporting it. Yeah.
Today? Oh, I thought that was from 2005.
This is like the FBI stating
I was like,
today.
That's the gaslighting shit I've ever heard in my life.
Whoa.
He did work for an intelligence agency.
Oh yeah, this Trump clip is until this clip here with Trump and the Epstein thing, I was still like, okay, he's done some things wrong, but there's still hope. He might still do like some of the things that like people wanted. It might still work that way. But after this clip came out, I'm like, we're screwed. There's no hope.
So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the Saturday?
Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about...
Can I? He's doing his Trump hands. But I always thought that was so funny, the Trump hands. He is like I keep saying like, he is a pretty funny old man. I give him that. But this is, he probably kicks himself for saying something here because this is what lost him a lot of support, and for good reason.
Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
I wonder why.
Are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is
I'll let Clint cover this one.
unbelievable.
Are you still talking about Epstein? Yeah, we are. And I'm glad we are. Because thanks to the incredible work of Thomas Massey, Ro Khanna, and a handful of others, we now have real hard evidence of how the sausage of the deep state is made. And unfortunately for Kash Patel, we now have pretty damn solid evidence that he perjured himself in September of 2025, just 5 months ago, when he said this.
There's no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
Nobody's buying that.
For the information that we have.
I know I said this in the last show where Kash Patel came up, but he always looks so traumatized. And it must be, I don't know what it is, because what I can only assume is when he got into the position that he got in, he must have been threatened or something to continue covering this up, because otherwise, why would somebody continue to cover this up when it's so obvious that this is a cover-up? The whole country knows this is a cover-up, and to continue trying to covering up and trying to lie about it, I mean, I don't know what else there could be other than some very powerful people threatened him, threatened his family, or like bribed him in some way. I don't know exactly what it is, obviously, but it seems like there is something that is either weighing so heavily on his mind and like some kind of guilt or fear or both. Something is going on with this man that he doesn't look right. And lying about this kind of thing would probably do it.
In the files.
In the case file.
Okay.
And why do we know that that was perjury? Well, because Thomas Massey, late last night, was going through.
Thomas Massey is the only politician that I somewhat trust, at least in government ever. I can't think of any other politician that I could say I trust even remotely, even a little bit. Like, he is the only one. And oddly enough, he's the only one that is actually trying to implement all of the things that Make America Great Again movement was supposed to be implementing. Like, he's the only one that is really aligning with what people voted for, while Trump is doing the opposite and then trying to say that Massey is the one that's in the wrong and he should be removed or whatever. Why isn't he going along with all my stuff now that I'm completely doing things differently from what I said I would be doing? It's crazy. Like, he is the only one. Make it faster. Surely the next president will do what people actually want. If it was any faster, we wouldn't be able to watch it. If everyone stops talking about it, then the problem is going to go away. Yeah. That seems like that was the goal. I can't believe that Trump thought that could possibly work and not completely blow up in his face in the opposite direction. It's been a cover-up since the past 4 administrations, I think, and it's going to keep staying that way. I agree it's been a cover-up basically the whole time, but I don't know if it's gonna stay that way. I don't think they have a choice at this point. I think over the past however many years, there haven't been a sort of critical amount of people that have outright been saying, like, this is a cover-up. There have been a lot of people that haven't been buying the official story, but there were still a lot of people that either didn't care enough or were sort of oblivious or believed the actual story, or believed what the FBI is trying to say the actual story is. But I think that's been changing quite a bit, especially with the release of the files and how they've been butchering that and lying about it, and like him saying that it was, clearly, Trump was saying what he said there was crazy. So I think that has woken a lot of people up who were previously kind of either on the fence or on the opposite side, and now it does appear to be like I keep saying, like, there does appear to be a sort of large enough mass of people where we're now on this is very clearly a cover-up and we need answers now. And it seems to be like critical mass in that direction. I hope so, at least. I really hope so. Actually, he got me. They're going to drag it to the end. They're going to drag it to the end of Trump's admin and pass the problem to the next elected president. I think that's what they're trying to do. I do think that they're trying very hard to do that, but I don't know if it's going to work this time. At least I hope that it's not going to work this time, because it's gone far enough, and I do think that there is critical mass as far as people demanding answers.
Through the files, because they were finally permitted. They allowed congressional representatives to go into, I assume it was a SCIF, I don't know exactly, but they go into the room with all of the millions of files.
Oh yeah, I also heard that this room only has about 4 chairs in it, so it's a very slow process and they have to take turns. They had to make it as slow as possible. And they're also apparently keeping track of what each congressperson searches for in the files.
Unredacted files. And what Massey and Khanna found out was that, in fact, the DOJ's version of the documents still had redactions because they had not required the FBI to unredact their files before handing.
That is crazy. If anything screams cover up is like one agency doesn't even unredact for the other agency. I don't have words. Like I don't have words. I keep saying like I don't know what else to do. This is going to be one of the big topics of the primaries, and everyone's going to promise to release more files and then not do it. You know what? That's probably going to be the case, but I'm still going to hold out hope that this time it's different, because what else can I do? What else can we do? There's nothing else we can do except keep demanding the truth, keep demanding the release of the unredacted files, except for the victim stuff, obviously. And by the way, what they've been doing is they have been leaving victim information in some places unredacted and perpetrator information redacted, which is the opposite of what they're supposed to do. And my personal sort of theory on that is the reason that they have left victim information out and released it to the public was because they were trying to make it so that the public demanded they stop releasing it at all, because maybe the public would be like, oh, well, if you can't do it right and you're going to release victim information, then don't do it at all. Stop releasing. No more files. I think that was the goal there, and that didn't happen. So I'm glad that didn't happen, but I don't think it was an accident that they released the victim information. I think that was on purpose. Yeah, I have a little bit of optimism left. I really do, because I have seen. I'm sort of watching the cultural shifts, and it's. I really hope so. I really hope I'm right. I hope that it does finally get released and we get at least some of the co-conspirators or whatever they're being called in prison where they belong. I understand that it's probably unrealistic to think that we're going to get all of them and we're going to get everything that we're supposed to get, but I think we might get at least some of them. And I don't think we're going to sort of let it go as, oh, it's nobody. He trafficked them to nobody, only himself. He was personally enjoying all of them. I don't think they're going to get away with that. But yeah, I also don't think we're going to get every single piece of information that we want. So it is probably going to be somewhere in the middle, but I'm optimistic enough to at least get some justice for this.
Handing them over to the DOJ.
I'm asking you, in that stuff, there's nothing that's related to to any other sex traffic, any other people engaged with Epstein in underage sex.
That's correct. To my knowledge, no.
Given what you saw today, does that testimony ring true to you still?
No, the FBI's own documents from 2019 list Leslie Wexner as a co-conspirator in a child sex.
Honestly, thank God for Thomas Massey. If not for him, I don't know where we would be, because it seems like everybody else in government is sort of out for themselves and wishy-washy and frankly paid off and bought off by whichever particular power that... you know what? I'm not going to harp on it.
Sex trafficking case. So, they've got some explaining to do.
Does that mean you think Kash Patel perjured himself?
I thought when he said that, maybe the trick he's using in his mind is that, well, he's considering it prostitution, and maybe what they have is evidence of sex trafficking of people who weren't minors. But what we see tonight is the charge that Lex Wexner was a co-conspirator to was child sex trafficking, and it's on the FBI's own documents from 2019.
So you're saying that should be investigated, basically?
Should absolutely be investigated.
So Massey hopped over to CNN and he dragged Pam Bondi and the DOJ and Kash Patel and the FBI, and he pressured them on X to disclose and unredact those names, which they did. And what we found out is that there are, in fact, multiple co-conspirators and specifically, explicitly co-conspirators in child trafficking, which is the
They didn't end up redacting some, but if not for Thomas Massey calling it out, they wouldn't have. He basically forced their hand. Anyway, I'm gonna link this in the description. So if anyone wants to finish watching this, I highly recommend it. I think Clint is really good on most things, and he presents stuff really well too, concisely to the point with clips and examples and everything. Honestly, like, I keep saying, like, you know what? I don't know what to do with myself. But I'm gonna leave it in the description. Liberty lockdown. There. So if anybody wants to finish that on their own time, please do. And yep. So I do want to try to still maybe take a break and then try to refilm. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to refilm the whole Force Doctrine one because that's hours of filming and cutting, but I think maybe the smaller ones I might be able to. I don't know, maybe I'll try to do everything because I've been putting it off long enough. I've had a lot of stuff to do at work and things like that, so I haven't had a lot of time to do editing. I've been pretty busy, but I really want to get this done because I keep talking about it and I keep not having it, and every time I feel like I'm getting close, I'm realizing I have to redo stuff, and again and again and again. I have the reason I even have to refilm is because of all the, like, I keep doing it because of all the redoing and having to cut things here and add things in there and add something here and there. It looks like a disjointed sort of collection of me looking slightly different with a different background, with like lights in some of the videos and a different shirt on. It's completely different a lot of times. So it looks off. Like, is the new Just? Oh, I hope not. I really hope not. But you might be right. Those releases aren't going to release themselves. That is true. So I am going to try to work on those tonight. At least try to get some of the filming done so I can edit during the day. Because I can't really film during the day because of the bird. Anytime I start talking, he thinks it's time for everybody to talk together at the same time. So that's not possible. Every time I have to do a Zoom conversation for a work meeting or something, I have to run away to another room. And sometimes he'll like escape and follow me, and I have to run back to the other room again because he thinks like, oh, I keep doing it. Damn it. Because every time that I get on a call and he hears that it's time to talk, he wants to join in. And it's the same for recording. If he hears me talking, it's gonna be a lot of parrot sounds in the background. And as sort of cute as that sounds, I don't think it's going to be enjoyable for the whole time. Okay. So, thank you everybody for hanging out. It sounds, yeah, he's a funny bird. He talks all cute too, but it's also it's cute and funny for the first 5 minutes, but after that it gets like, "Ugh, shut up, bird." I'm just kidding. I would never hurt him. I love him a lot, but sometimes I think about it. Only think about it. Because sometimes you're trying to have a call about something important for work, and maybe you already tried to run away to a different room a few times, and you have to lock him away, and maybe you can't get up right that second, and you have to pause in between all the squeaks and squawks and hope that they hear you, and he gets louder and louder and louder, and you're like, oh, shut up, bird. But I'm just kidding. Wait, I just realized there was a bald guy. Oh no, there was. You're right. You spotted a bald guy. I'm not gonna get away from that, am I? You're not gonna let me forget that. Okay. Well, everybody have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you probably Saturday, and we'll do some debate reviews or something like that. And then we have to talk about when to do panels. Maybe we can discuss that on... Maybe I'll do like a poll or something. Oh, damn it, my whole thing is out of control. Maybe I'll do something in the manner of a poll. How about that on Saturday about dates or something for panel dates or panel weeks of days of the week. Oh my goodness, I can't talk. Again, thanks for hanging out and listening to me. I'm sorry I've been all over the place and can't even talk today, but I suppose it's not that different from usual either. So seriously, thank you. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. Good night. Oh my goodness. Oh, no way. Oh, did we get there? Thank you. That's crazy. Thank you. I didn't know that. I don't have that pulled up, but that's so cool. Okay. Good night, y'all. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. Before they start unsubbing, because what are you blabbing about, you crazy lady? Unsub. I can see it happening already. Oh my goodness. Good night, y'all.